16th.
And this is YMCMB on Channel 4. I'm Will Pfeiffer.
And I'm Caleb Bridgeport.
This morning we will open with a story about something that has had everyone in the country up in arms for the past several days.
Nadia Mueller is in Washington covering the events of the aftermath of what's now being called the Cuban Missile Crisis. What have you heard over there, Nadia?
Thanks, Caleb. We're live here from the nation's capital, where tensions over the last 13 days have been running high, ever since President John F. Kennedy was informed of the Soviet Union's attempt to deploy medium-range missiles on the island of Cuba. Here with me now is Defense Secretary Robert McNamara. Mr. Secretary, how would you describe the President's reaction to this news about the Soviet attempt to place missiles on Cuba?
Obviously, this revelation sent shockwaves through the administration. President Kennedy felt betrayed and was very angry with Khrushchev. He and his advisors spent long hours and many heated discussions trying to find a way to handle this very delicate situation without caving to the Soviet leader's Khrushchev's agenda or risking nuclear war. The President should be commended for his expert handling of this such potentially volatile issue.
The nation has been patiently waiting for an end to this tension, and one can almost feel the relief throughout the country now that the crisis has been diffused. Mr. McNamara, what do you think is the most important thing to come out of the last 2 weeks?
I think it's important to realize that whenever possible, military options should be considered only as a last resort. I firmly support the blockade of Cuba and it proved effective ultimately. Also, as a result of negotiations, there will now be a hotline connecting the White House with the Kremlin, so hopefully nuclear war between the worlds, two of the superpowers, can be prevented in the future.
Agreed, Mr. Secretary. Neither Russians nor Americans want a nuclear war. Thank you for granting us this exclusive interview. This has been Nadia Mueller live from the West Wing. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, a hotline between the White House and the Kremlin? They should be sure to make sure that phone is a special color. Can't you just see the President calling to wish his mother a happy birthday?
I could imagine that. You're like,
Oh, sorry, Mr. Khrushchev. I beg your pardon. I was trying to call my mother.
In other news, crowds have been flocking to theaters in droves to scare themselves silly with Alfred Hitchcock's new thriller, Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. We have a correspondent out at the Cineplex to report. Bradley?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with one young movie patron, Crystal, who's waiting in line to purchase a ticket to be terrified, along with another 100 or so moviegoers in the theater. Now, tell me, Crystal, what is it about this movie that promises to be so interesting?
Well, I just love Alfred Hitchcock movies. He just has a way of doing things in a way that you never expect, and it just really gives you an edge, you know? Oh, and it's so much fun when, and it's so much fun to be scared in a situation you know isn't real, but it really seems like it is. Oh, and the best part is when everyone in the movie theater screams all at the same time. It's really exciting.
Well, that's just swell. Well, there you have it. For those of you that love a thrill, we're now to get your tickets to see Psycho. And back to the studio for a word from our sponsors.
I wish there was an easier way to clean my kitchen.
Now there is.
Who are you?
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Clean. I'm here to help you with all your cleaning needs with a brand new Mr. Clean Concentrated Cleaner.
Can it clean my dirty kitchen?
Absolutely. Nothing cuts through grease better than my brand new Mr. Clean.
Can it clean my filthy bathrooms?
Absolutely. Mr. Clean is a revolutionary product that can cut through the dirt and grime of your business and messes.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Clean.
And now, Mr. Clean is available at your local grocery retail store for the average everyday price of 59 cents. And for the first time, Mr. Clean is available in a state-of-the-art plastic bottle. I'm Mr. Clean. Let me fight your dirt and grime.
After the big game, my boys are hungry, and they don't want to have to wait for me to make them their favorite meal. Now they don't have to. Introducing Domino's Pizza. I'm sorry. Stop by your local Domino's Pizza today and pick up a hot cheese pizza for $2.50. Domino's uses only the freshest ingredients, from handmade dough, sauce from vine-ripened tomatoes, and cheese that can only be fresher if you went to the dairy farm yourself.
Mom, what's that smell? Did you make pizza?
No, I don't have to anymore now that Domino's Pizza has come to town.
Thanks, Mom. You're the best. We're back on this sunny Friday morning. Correspondent Colin Lewis is live at the Fashion Expo in New York City to give us the scoop on the latest trends in the fashion world.
If you're just now joining us, we've just seen the latest in women's fashion here in New York, where suits in soft pastel colors featuring short jackets with oversized buttons earned the top spot in the lineup. The miniskirt is another popular new apparel choice, especially among the younger generation. We've seen capri pants surge onto the fashion scene as an option for women's casual dress. And as for dresses, whether the print is circles, squares, or other geometric shapes, geometrics are what's hot right now. But don't forget to accessorize, ladies. A pillbox hat will work great with that suit. And slip into a pair of stiletto heels to complete your look. Now in the world of men's fashion, you can't go wrong with a sleek suit and tie and hat. This is the way to demonstrate your sense of style in the marketplace. And for a bit of a more casual look that still communicates an air of sophistication, pull on your favorite pair of slacks or jeans and a turtleneck and class it up with a blazer thrown over top. The younger generation is opting for a more casual comfort with jeans and easygoing Oxford with suspenders to complete the look. Fun and practical both. And finally, a look that can work for anyone. Jeans and a comfortable shirt, and a pattern or solid along with a fringe buckskin vest. This trend works for everyone, guys and gals alike. What great new looks we've seen here today. These are the hottest looks of the decade.
Thanks, Colin. Well, we leave you this morning with a story from Houston, Texas. Ashley Barr is our correspondent on the site. Ashley.
Thanks, Caleb. I'm Ashley Barr reporting to you from NASA's Mission Control in Houston, Texas. With me here is Christopher C. Kraft, Flight Director of the first lunar landing. Director Kraft, how would you describe the atmosphere of the Mission Control on this momentous occasion? The first time a man has ever landed on the moon.
You cannot imagine how exciting it has been to watch Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walk on the moon. There was much cheering and backslapping when we saw that the mission was successful. So many people put so much time and effort into the mission, into planning all Apollo 11's mission. It was all inspiring. I can only imagine what Americans in Aldrin felt when they stepped out of the capsule. I cannot help but recall our late president's challenge to put a man on the moon and return him safely to the Earth before the end of the decade. I am proud to have been a part of the team that was able to fulfill Kennedy's dream.
It has been reported that President Nixon himself spoke to the astronauts on Apollo 11. Can you confirm that this conversation happened?
I certainly can, because this call was coordinated here by Mission Control. We were able to connect the President Nixon in the Oval Office with Neil Armstrong. While they spoke only briefly, the President told the men how proud he was of them and how proud all the Americans were of their incredible accomplishment.
Thank you for your time, Director Kraft. This is truly a day in which Americans made history. This has been Ashley Barr reporting from Fox News.
Men on the moon, what will be next? Portable phones? This morning's news has been sponsored by Dean Witter.
Please tune in at noon as we bring you the latest, greatest breaking news. Now will be an advertising.
Well, it's a one for the morning, two for the show. Get ready now, go, can't go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
Hey everybody, I'm Elvis Presley. I'm sure you all remember that hit from 1956, Blue Suede Shoes. As much as I love my blue suede shoes, there's one color I love even more than blue, and that's gold. My friends at the investment firm of Dean Witter tell me that at $35 an ounce, gold could make a financial investment for your portfolio. They also tell me that by 1970, gold could reach the $40 mark. Imagine how high it could get by 1980 or 1990, maybe even over $100. So put on your blue suede shoes and make your way over to your telephone. Call my friends at Dean Witter. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you guys very much. You've done a great job.